I took a nap and I woke up and it turns out that Remix woke up as well. Well, let's talk about it. Hey there, Alan from the future here. I just want to tell you that I've joined Can See the Odds to become an Epic instructor on Epic Web. If you're interested in videos like these, subscribe to the Epic Web and get notified when they launch. I also launch videos there before I launch them on YouTube, and some are gonna be exclusive to Epic Web. So if you're interested, come join us there and also keep up to date when I drop the React Router courses. Alright, that's it from the future Alan. Go back to the video. So a few days ago they published this Wake Up Remix article. As you can see the disk in the background, it's time for Remix version 3 to wake up. And it's going to be a completely different thing than what Remix version 2 was. And I'm kind of here to demystify it and go through it with you and talk about it. So at ReactConf last summer, they kind of announced that Remix is taking a nap, that they're going to merge Remix into React Router version 7. If you don't know why, it's because Remix got to a point where it was basically a glorified re-export of React Router, so they decided to move everything back into it. So both React Router version 6 and 5 users had a way to migrate to Remix kind of apps, and also to allow them to do a completely different thing with Remix, which we will see through this article. And ever since then, they kept it really under the wraps on what they're working on, and this is the first thing we're hearing about Remix in like half a year. So if you don't know why we are excited, that's completely why. So if you're wondering, hey, what does this mean for React Router? Is it going to get discontinued? Is anybody gonna work on it? What's the future looking like? Well, you don't have to worry. This is completely unrelated from React Router, and React Router itself has some exciting news where it's going to have an open governance model, and the React Router core team is going to be governing a committee that's going to decide what features from the community are going to be added and merged into React Router. From what I understood, they had a severe bottleneck with the current approach where they would have to get approval from Ryan and MJ, and those guys are kind of busy, so I'm guessing that's the reason why they're doing this. And how it's gonna work is pretty much like TC39. It's gonna have 5 phases, and if it gets accepted and implemented and everything and it goes into phase 5, it gets added to React Router, otherwise it gets rejected. And I think this is kind of one of the low-key coolest things about this article, because React Router is going to be better than ever. The future for it is really exciting, but that's not the topic of today's video, is it now? Well, what is? Remixes. And if we look at the new path here, this is the meat of the article. So I'm not gonna read through the new path here, but rather I'm gonna briefly explain to you what they aim to do. So as I said, over the past few years, they wanted to build something completely different and disruptive, but their biggest issue was that they didn't want to break everything for their existing user bases. So because they decided to move Remix into React Router, now React Router is a stable story that's going to grow over the years. Now they have the freedom to basically do anything they want with Remix version 3 and forge a new path forward, whatever that looks like. And that is what they intend to do. And how they're gonna do that is they're gonna build their own framework that's going to probably have everything built in, much like Laravel. And how they're gonna do that is they're gonna move away from React. So that's the first big shocker. And what they're moving to is Preact. So if you don't know what Preact is, it's basically a very tiny 3 kilobyte library that allows you to manipulate the virtual DOM. And if I scroll down here to an example, you can see it looks very similar to React. And if you use the compatibility layer they offer, it literally is React with a few missing features, but most of them are there. And what it allows you to do is basically efficiently use the virtual DOM and manipulate it actually faster than React, at least according to their docs. And you can either use JSX or you can use this approach, which is kind of the equivalent of React.createElement, and rendered it in the body of the document. So Preact is pretty cool. I'm not sure what they're gonna do, because if you look at the article here, they also mentioned that it's a fork of Preact, so it might be a completely different thing than the official Preact branch, so we will see in the future. But what they want to do is have a mature virtual DOM manipulation library to add anything they want on top. And from the looks of it, they also want to revive Reach UI, which after checking their website seems to be very old, but I guess we will have to wait and see. And if you didn't think that Remix was close to the web enough, Remix version 3 seems to be even closer, and that's what they're aiming to do, and that's what you're gonna see in the rest of the article as well. Which they also mention in this sentence, where they basically tell you, hey, this is as aligned as with the web platform as possible. And one of the most important parts is the principles part, and we're gonna go through each one of these points, and the first one is model first development. So what they're aiming to do is basically you have this thing that you might have heard about, it's called an LLM, and from what I understand, it's some sort of AI thingy, and they want to have it as a first-class citizen, so that's really interesting. I don't know how to feel about this point. I personally haven't seen LLMs be useful as much. I'm hoping they can prove us wrong, because they have done that in the past, so I am all open for them proving me wrong. Just to speculate on what this could be, maybe it's a built-in MCP server, maybe it's LLMs.txt and stuff like that built in, maybe it's something completely different, maybe they even build their own code editor, who knows. But yeah, model first development is something that no framework has done, and for probably good reason. And now that they are kind of unbound and able to do whatever they want, it's going to be interesting to see what they actually mean by this, because at the moment it's just a big question mark. The second point, we don't really have to go through it. It's built on web APIs. If you've used Remix, you know their philosophy, and they're all about using the web platform, so this one is a given. The religiously runtime is an interesting one, because I personally don't believe that being religious about anything in development is a smart idea, because it leads you down a path of making compromises just to religiously follow a rule that might not be good in all situations. So I'm interested to see what this turns into. From what I've seen, they don't really plan to make it their own ecosystem, and no JavaScript ecosystem can interact with it, but rather the opposite. From what I've seen, it almost seems like it will be pluggable into anything, and I'll talk about this more when we get to point 6, but that's what it feels like. And for example, they don't even want to use stuff like bundlers, compilers, typegen, and stuff like that, and they just want to have it run in Node natively, and they're gonna use import loaders from Node to import and do some simple transformations like TypeScript and JSX. And if you don't know, Node loaders basically allow you to transform the code easily, so they don't want to depend on something like Vite, but rather be independent of any bundler and stuff like that, which is an interesting choice, and I'm all for it, but let's see what it turns into. The fourth one is avoid dependencies. This is also an interesting one, because what they say is that dependencies lock you into somebody else's roadmap, and you should choose them wisely and wrap them completely and expect to replace them. I actually really resonate with this, because I've been thinking a lot on how to actually achieve this, especially in context of monorepos. For example, let's say you want to use an auth module that's not really dependent on the underlying auth implementation. So for example, you have a module that's used for authentication, and you get stuff like login, logout, create user, get user, blah blah blah, but you don't really care what it uses underneath. So for example, let's say you use BetterAuth or NextAuth or whatever, the wrapper around that always exposes the same APIs, but the underneath structure changes. And if you use something like Nux, it's almost like Nux adapters, where you use a specific adapter for a specific framework. So this is an approach I love and I fully resonate with, so I'm really excited to see what they have planned for this. And the man composition is also something that ties into the fourth one, and basically what I just said. So abstraction should be single purpose and replaceable, and I think what they're referring to in this complete segment is to Remix the Web by MJ, And if you look at the packages inside of Remix the Web, you have something like file storage, fetch proxy, form data parser, headers, lazy file, and so on and so forth. And basically all of these are very small packages, and they allow you to do some very specific things, like headers allows you to easily manipulate headers, multipart parser allows you to parse files from form submissions, node fetch server allows you to create a request/response middleware that allows you to handle anything in Node and express with the request and response objects. And I think that's what they're going for at this point, and they're probably going to grow this package or the Remix ecosystem even more with this. But this now becomes a problem where you have like 20 packages and you have to re-export them. And if you read this last sentence here, tightly coupled modules that almost always change together in both directions should be moved to the same package. And then in the distribute cohesively, they also mention this where they say that everything will be wrapped up into a single package as dependencies and re-exported as a single toolbox. And now this part here is the really interesting part, which kind of maybe gives it away in a sense, because I have a feeling what they're gonna do is probably create something that's pluggable into everywhere, and everything is pluggable into Remix itself. So what could this mean is something similar to something like backend as a service, but open source and free, where you get some sort of backend toolbox that allows you to plug it into anywhere, even with something like Next, and then use everything that Remix offers out of the box and enhance the experience. And I've also seen Pedro talk about the fact that they don't want to move away from Vite and want to allow Vite to be plugged into whatever this is. So I think that's also an interesting point, and it might be that we don't get a framework, but rather some sort of toolbox that allows you to do a lot of things that every project needs. Something like file uploads, databases, streaming, AI chats, stuff like that. So I think the distribute cohesively gives a lot more info than it aimed for, or I'm just a tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist who got it completely wrong. It's one of the other, and we'll see in the future, I guess. And that's it for the article. The last section mentions the Remix Jam that they're posting, and it's going to be in Toronto, in Ontario. And I think it's happening on 10th and 11th of October, so if you can come, feel free to come. I'm gonna be there, and a lot of other influential people from the React Router community and the Remix community are gonna be there. So I'm really hoping you can join us and not have to look at me through a camera lens, but rather through your eyes. I heard they have a better resolution than cameras, so that's really cool. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye!